Welcome to Interrogation, a game where two contestants have up to 20 questions to unravel a mystery. There are no prizes. It's all just for fun and glory. First contestant, the category is profession. Go.
Is it a profession that would generally be beneficial to the state? Or is it?
I mean, government?
You know what I'm getting at? Do I need to home in? Is it something that you would do that is socially helpful rather than privately helpful?
That's I can't think of a profession that would. Well, is this?
Well, I guess anything
again?
positive to society, like an ambulance driver, fire,
Well,
things like that.
I think,
But also like a librarian, or are you a car salesman, which is like not detrimental, but you're not really looking out for people's interests in your role.
You're providing
the responsibilities and duties and ethics behind your role is. Can I get that in one question?
That's a relative perspective.
Yeah, okay.
And I can't, because I can make arguments for almost any profession that would be beneficial. Car salesman, if it wasn't for used car salesmen, poor people would not have cars. We just have new car salespeople. In America, we had a horrendous government program called Cash for Clunkers, and the government paid people to take in their used cars, and they were demolished. It hurt the poor people who bought used cars. It hurt charities because the used cars used to be donated to them. So used car salesmen provide a service providing cheap transportation for the poor. So everything is relative. So I can't answer that yes or no.
Yeah. Okay. No. Good and very diplomatic of you.
Thank you.
How many questions have I had?
You haven't even asked one yet.
Right. Okay. Cool.
You got 20. You haven't asked one that I'm willing to answer because they've been relatively relative. They have been relatively relative.
Is this a job that enables public safety?
No.
It's not nothing to do with that. Is it a military job?
No.
Is it a job that works with food? A profession that works with food?
No.
Is it an entertainment profession? Well,
the job, no. I would say, okay, well, is it entertainment? Is that your question? No.
Yeah, it was. What were you about to say?
Irrelevant now.
Okay. Is it a job that generally pays much higher than minimum wage?
Define much higher. What do you mean by much higher?
Like 20% more than minimum wage. I'm not actually sure what minimum wage would be, but
yeah, and minimum wage. There's here in America. There's the federally mandated minimum wage, which is
Crikey, you have a whole different thing going on.
But there is the minimum wage, the kind of like the real minimum wage is what you can get.
Okay, let's scratch that.
Okay.
Let's so
So around here in Dubuque, Iowa, $15 is pretty much becoming the minimum wage, even though it's only like $7 or $8 is the legally minimum wage.
Oh,
Because right now we're in a worker shortage here in America. I'm a
yeah,
trucker, and I'm a trucker, and I get job offers all the time. You know, so it's hard to say that. So try another.
Is it a job? Is it a profession that makes you travel?
Yes. Traditionally, yes. Typically, yes. And yeah, you travel with this business, with this profession, typically.
Implies that you wouldn't now.
What?
But like you wouldn't travel for it now, but traditionally you would.
No. You travel. You would travel.
Oh, so you still would. That's
you would
consistent
travel
with.
now. Yes. It might be
Okay.
different. It might be a bit different now, but you'd still travel.
Is it sports related?
No.
It's good to get that out.
Oh yeah, always good to get that out. Always good to get any question out.
Well, I don't know. There's a few I wish I hadn't. Is it a profession that drives a certain vehicle?
That drives a certain vehicle.
Like the job is operating a specific vehicle. I didn't expect that to be so difficult. What's that? What is it?
A Pacific vehicle?
Specific, like not like the ocean Pacific, like a particular vehicle.
Particular vehicle.
Yeah. It's my accent.
You're gonna hate me for it, but yes. You could say that the
job is like driving one vehicle.
Well, no, I don't think it'll be cute. I think the answer is no.
Right.
By how you phrase that question, the answer would have to be no.
No, the job isn't. You would drive a specific vehicle in relation to that job, but it isn't your job to drive it. Just you would.
Is that a question?
No. This is a thought process.
Okay.
Falling out of the carcass that used to be my head. Before. Right. So you're walking down the road. I'm looking around. What's the jobs? What jobs do people have? We've got Mr. So I think like a taxi driver or something like that. But is this a profession that has been around for more than 120 years?
Oh yes.
I don't know why the level of enthusiasm when you said "oh yes" implied it was much longer. I'm trying to take your "oh" and equate that into a number of years.
You can ask that question. You can find out.
No. Oh yeah. That sound. Is that a 10-year kind of? Was a 1,000-year gap? It's hard to tell.
Hmm.
Thinking horses. Does this profession work with animals?
Yes.
Mosquitoes. Sorry. Get this little in your ear. How many questions we got?
You got 11 left. This one plus 10.
Is it a mailman?
No. And they deal with animals? Oh, I guess dogs.
Well, in the Pony Express and all, but not now. Then there's a lot of like the jobs changed, obviously, and
Sure.
and it's not necessarily a public service. It's, like
Even though the Pony Express is actually a very short-lived program.
so who drives a pony? If you've got a distance to go, take a horse, man.
Yeah. Well, they use relay. They actually did
Relay
use,
the ponies.
yeah, they actually didn't use ponies, but it was actually horses, and they had relay stations where they'd ride in, take out a fresh horse, and then ride to the next station, take out a new horse, ride in the next station, and then
that actually makes loads of sense. That's very very clever.
The horse is all, yeah. So the horse is at least going at a
you got non-stop max mileage, basically, haven't you?
Right. Very, the idea is that the horse would be going at faster than a trot style. So it'd be going at a gallop to get to the next one. And then the rider would, transfer his saddlebag of messages to the next horse and then take off with that one. And then other Pony Express rider riding in the other direction basically moves the horses all back,
Would this have been popular as a profession during the what do you call it, the gold rush kind of era?
Yes.
That's a question.
Yes.
Is it a prospector?
No.
No. Right, but that limits things to like again, we're back to westerns, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't a question.
Okay. You want to make it a question?
No. I'm happy with my.
Well, it was during that time period. You can.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was
I think you might be
definitely
making. I think you might be making certain assumptions that might not be right, but.
So how many questions do I have left? 7.
It's actually 8. You haven't asked this one yet.
Oh yeah. Fingers on the gap. Is it a profession in law enforcement?
No.
Is it a profession that works with animals?
Yeah, that's already been established. Yes.
I already asked that, right?
Yeah, you already asked it.
I thought I did. So we're looking at like a rancher, a radio person. I'm trying to think of the job roles that might. How broad is this profession? Specific. Is it a Do you know? I think the problem I have is I want to say some job roles, but I'm not sure if they're actually the kind of like professions or if they're just like just words. I guess. But what would you call them? Like, who puts shoes on a horse?
That would be a blacksmith. Generally, that's blacksmith. There is a specific
Yeah,
name.
you're right. You're right. That would be a blacksmith. So, and someone that works on a ranch, generally, like the rodeo people. What's his name?
Well, rodeo is.
I'm looking at your eyes going, and I'm like, I'm on the wrong. Oh, I don't know.
Rodeo is entertainment.
Whole different thing. That's entertainment purely,
entertainment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and we ruled that out, so it's definitely not to do with that. So that's cool. So, and is it a blacksmith?
No.
No. Is it a farmer?
No.
That's it. I know I've gone on a bad line somewhere, but like I'm in a zone now, but I'm just shooting wildly.
Mm-hmm.
You got 4 questions, so I should try to narrow it down.
5. More. You got 5.
I've got 5 questions. I should try and narrow it down more. So, how can I do that? I'm on a ranch. Some animals. What do we do? We got the vet. Is my job to help the animals? No, wait, sorry, that's a stupid question. Literally, I might as well just say, is it a vet? No, I'm not. That's not my question. Forget that. So stop. No, stop. Don't answer.
Right.
It. Is it a cowboy?
What is the question?
Is it a cowboy?
Yes, it's a cowboy.
Like, to being too specific. It's just generally, it's all of that stuff.
It's a cowboy. You were on the ranch. You were on the ranch, and you're like talking all.
I'm on the ranch. I'm like, what? Is it the guy that does the shoes? Is it the guy that gives the milk? I don't know. Is it the guy that cuts the hair? No, it's the guy that does all of those things.
Yeah. But cowboys also were ones that they travel, especially in the past, cattle trains.
It's like migrant working, isn't it? You know,
cattle drives. They would drive cattle from the farms to basically the slaughterhouses. The slaughter yard.
Over long distances as well, you know.
Yep. And cowboys still exist to today. And also they exist in other countries. Like Argentina has cowboys.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And they but they were much more pronounced. You hit the right time period. You hit the gold rush was I was expecting you to say, is this the Wild West? Because that they're most associated with the Wild West. And I had, Clint Eastwood, the Westerns that were there. So I thought, is.
Well, I told you I've been reading a lot of Cormac McCarthy lately. And what's the one I'm reading at the moment? It's funny. It's just like Blood Noon or something. Blood.
Yeah. And as far as Pagos.
It's such a bleak picture of the terrain you have there at the time, just like socio-political, but also the landscape, and it's
but also it was a very poorly paid job. It was a very harsh job.
People are going from one day to the next, literally.
Yeah, it was just, but also the thing is that there was a chuck wagon that fed you, etc. These cowboys, there's nothing to spend while they're doing a cattle drive. So when they'd come into town, they'd have they'd be paid at that time, and they'd have
And then they spend it all in one go and have a big go.
Yep,
Whoa,
and
yeehaw!
then they go back on out and they
Yeah.
do it all over again. It's very
They wake up the next day and like,
oh yeah,
got no money.
yeah, and it was typically they were not that picky who became a cowboy. So typically, like ex-cons were real common as cowboys. Although they
They
would
need to work their work for less, eh?
yeah, and
And if you need
obviously they
lot-
would never reveal what they're. Today you could do a background check, but back then you wouldn't know. And they were considered nomads. There were a lot of towns did not like the cowboys that came to town because they're out doing nothing. They come in, they haven't been drinking every day. Now they're going to drink a lot, so now they don't know how to handle their alcohol.
And they're not going to answer to anything because they go to another town. How are you going to track them down?
Yeah, pretty much. So they did not have that great of a reputation. Now, Hollywood has made them has very
kind of heroic almost,
yeah, very glamorized the profession, etc. But
that's the great thing about the spaghetti westerns. They don't do that. They're like,
oh, they're brutal.
A place of all nasty people and having a nasty
and no, like in A Few Dollars More, everyone is nasty. Clint Eastwood's character is nasty. He's just a guy taking advantage of two warring sides and pitting them against each
really
other. No mercy, no care.
Anyway,
and the one side stupidly tries to kill him but doesn't kill him, and then he goes out for vengeance. So okay. Well, this is our last of the 5-part competition series between you and Frosty. Would you like to give your elevator pitch one more time for your channels to get people who have not yet, but might still be able to be convinced to go and check out your channel and subscribe to it? So give them one last sales pitch to come to your channel.
If you do want to check out my channel, feel free to go and look on there. There's a whole ton of different things. Like I've been visiting random islands. I've been looking at the way they prepare food here. I've been to a dog shelter where they have all these wild stray dogs. That was crazy. There's so many cool things we've done there. We've been paragliding and there's a lot of graves. We went to a ghost village. We thought we were going to die so many times. So if you want to check out the series that we've been doing in China, then have a look. There's lots going on there.
Oh,
and
cool.
There's more happening all the time as well.
Cool. Okay. Well, this is the end of the 5-part series. There's our competition series on the channel. Please subscribe. If you're a YouTuber, podcaster, or an author and like to appear as a contestant, in the description, there's a link to a contestant application form. Please fill it out. I'd love to have you on. And after this commercial break, we'll see how Frosty does. Welcome back to Interrogation. Frosty, let's hear your elevator pitch for your channel.
Hey, continuing from the conversation I had with...
You're breaking up really badly.
Okay, is it okay now?
Breaking up.
Okay, wait.
I think maybe the speakers are too loud, so the microphone's picking them up, and it's giving you a loop.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
That's what you're doing right now is good.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice.
Okay. So restart.
Oh no, we'll just continue. This is not Hollywood. I don't mind showing the rough edges. So give us your elevator pitch to convince the viewer to finally, who has not yet gone to check out your channel, to go and check it on out. What would you tell them?
So I've only started doing these things for like a little over a year. I think last month was my 1-year anniversary. When I started this, I don't even know that the Warhammer community is really huge, especially in the UK. I think in the UK and US. And when I first started, the community in my local place is very small. Not a lot of people, even the seniors, Most of them don't even know what war hammers are. But I managed to like get to talk with all the seasoned players and all. So um that's also what I will be doing, like doing some podcasts with the seniors, seasoned players. And I mean, the thing is, I'm like, the Warhammer community in Singapore is not that huge actually. Yeah, not a lot of people know about it. But yeah, uh, I'll be doing some podcasts with the season players and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to compete?
Yes. Profession.
Okay. Contestant, the category is profession. Go.
Is the profession involved in service line?
Does it provide a service? Does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Service.
It is a service profession. Yes.
It's not a healthcare, right?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Is it not healthcare? Yes, it is not healthcare. I feel like what's my line? So it's not healthcare.
Wait, it's yes to service, right? It's a service. Sorry, it's a service, right? Wait, am I hanging up? No.
Yes, it's a service. This profession provides a service.
Does it involve IT?
What? Hiking?
IT.
IT.
Information.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hmm. Do they fix stuff?
What?
Do they fix things?
No.
Profession. Is it a modern? It's not a medieval profession.
Okay.
Ancient.
Okay. Please rephrase your question. You like asked three separate questions within that.
Is it more of an ancient profession?
An ancient profession. How would you define ancient?
I think you need to pick a year, maybe, like as a cutoff.
Medieval times?
No.
No. Does it involve books?
What?
Does it involve books?
No.
Service doesn't. How they?
What?
Does it involve food?
What?
Does it involve food?
No.
No food.
I mean, everything involves food. You have people. But I mean,
Like
is
food
the,
as
is
a
the
service.
profession itself involved in like preparation of food? No.
What about it?
What?
What about water activities? Does it have anything to do with that?
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit more now.
What's going on? Wait, what if I wear my? Okay.
I don't think that only makes it for you.
Is it still okay now?
Still happening. Problem.
Yeah.
The headsets aren't helping.
Yeah. I was thinking of the feedback loop.
No. No.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the overall gain on the microphone is too loud, so it overloads, and there's a compressor maybe that, or noise gate that cuts and is clipping.
Is it okay now? But it's too soft, right?
Do you have a noise gate?
No, I didn't turn on my noise gate.
It's like a blip 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 blip, like it's randomly clipping the audio from the way it sounds.
Something wrong with my sound card. Wait, let me restart again.
Or maybe a cable. It looks like a nice mic.
Yeah, it looks like a nice
It's
setup.
It's just that my computer is, I think,
Now
is
you're
having
sounding okay now.
No, I had the
after
same thing. I wanted to use a fancy microphone, but I just got it and I didn't have time to set it up. So I'm using a laptop with a built-in microphone. And it's
And it works just fine.
no headache. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Frosty.
Profession. Oh, I have 9.
9.
Can I get a clue for 2 points?
A hint?
Yeah.
I'll give you a really good one. It was most predominant in the Wild West. You know what the Wild West is, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. Okay, well, that didn't help. You know what
You can't give him another one.
No, but I
He's
can't.
had it.
But if I can't, but if he doesn't understand the reference that the thing is making, you know what Western movies are.
Yeah.
You know what Western movies are.
Yeah, like
Frosty, do you know what a Western movie is?
Yeah.
Okay, those are typically in the time period of the Wild West.
yeah, that's a good way to home in, I think.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
you understand now?
Mhm.
Do you, or is that a? I don't want to sound like you don't know.
I think so.
Oh, okay. That means you don't. You want to give him
Does it involve firearms?
what?
Does it involve firearms?
Does it involve firearms?
Yeah.
Traditionally, yes. In fact, even today, this profession would typically have firearms.
He's not a bodyguard, right?
No, it's not a bodyguard.
Wild West.
Think about the people that hunt the bad guy. I'm gonna get you, sucker. They say things like that. That's what they say. It's true.
Biker?
A what?
Usual.
A what?
A biker?
Oh, I thought you said something British.
Oh no! I was wondering if that. Yeah, we're not going to. We're not going to explain what you thought it was. A biker.
Yeah.
Biker.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of really close.
Okay. Well, technically, they did have bicycles in that time period. So no, it's not. It's not.
Just no. Like
No.
Okay, is it does transport have anything to do with this?
Yes.
Wait, why don't you think about gender?
Usually, wait, gender as in gender?
Yes, gender.
As in sex, yes.
Whoa, whoa,
Like-
whoa. Gender. Sex. One track mind Jack. One track Jack.
Jack.
Okay,
No such
so,
thing as gender, though. It's just, we're all people.
okay, is it predominantly a male profession?
Yes. You picked up on Dave's clue. You got 4 left.
Horse rider?
What?
A horse rider?
A horse rider?
Yeah.
I don't think that was ever I don't think anyone ever paid someone to just ride a horse.
They did. What about the Grand National?
Yeah,
The
I was,
Derby?
Like
Like a
I mean,
jockey?
you mean a jockey?
yeah.
No.
Jockey horse rider. Come on, that's the same thing. That's a question.
Okay. The answer is no. It was not a. It was not a jockey.
Maybe the gender is in the job title of the Old West.
Oh my God.
Like a young person within that gender who
Cowboy.
deals with.
Is it
Oh, that's
cowboy?
a really good guess.
Oh my gosh.
What was you going to ask? That's
It's
the
not cowboy.
question.
What was the question?
Cowboy.
You got it. You got
Yeah, you got it, man.
Actually, I've been
you gotta
thinking about
win.
cowboy,
You gotta
but
win. We'll help him, Dave. What help him?
I've been thinking about cowboy, but
Oh my gosh.
I thought it wasn't.
Well, a good. Hey, at least you ended with a win. It's 3-1 with 1 tie, and a lot of help from Dave. And
I've been thinking
I'm
about
happy.
cowboy.
Honestly, dude.
I'm very glad
need
you got
my
to
help.
win.
You got
I'm
it.
very glad you got to win, Frosty. Very glad. This is the end of the 5-part series. Thank you guys for being on. Talk to you guys later, and bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wave goodbye.
Yeah. Bye-bye, guys.